Well, hi folks. Good morning. We are checking out the Aristocracy today. So I did a video yesterday called Aristocracy Expose the UFO Agenda, where we looked at we looked at John Winthrop and his family line. And in his family line, I saw Charlie Munger, who the name reminded me of. I knew I'd heard it before. And I even mentioned that John Winthrop was the second person that I had looked up the family line of and found a bunch of famous people and presidents. And Warren Buffett was the first one. So interestingly enough, when I go to look up Charlie Munger, who's related to John Winthrop, well, wouldn't you know that Mr. Munger is besties with Mr. Buffett. Described Munger as his closest partner and right-hand man. Well, they didn't tell you they're also related. So, let's take a look at Warren Buffett's famous kin. Okay, so I had looked up Warren Buffett because I found out that the company that he ran was the company that owned the railroad here on the West Coast. And I had done this research back when I was researching the foundations of our country, how and who built things, and things didn't add up. There was just things that didn't seem to add up, and I felt like our history was not true, and so I wanted to dig in it a little bit deeper. So, let's take a look. We got a bunch of people that are immigrants here, although I feel like I had heard of Robert Day, but go eat breakfast. Hey, I don't need that right now. Go shut my door and go finish your breakfast. Can't even get 5 minutes alone in this house. So anyways, these were a bunch of people that came over, so I believe that only people were sent here in the beginning were part of the royalty, and you'll see here in just a minute how many of the founding, and I'm doing air quotes here, our founding fathers. I don't believe that they were good people that had good intentions. I believe these were all Luciferian Freemasons who came over here to build their wealth and build the culture cult culture the way they wanted to, so that it was literally benefiting them and their cult. And I'll show you that through just this one family line here. So here's a ton of immigrants who came over and were some of the very first Americans back in the 1600s. Oh, King Edward the First. King Henry the Third. Wow. So, straight up royalty. Straight up England royalty. Okay? So, if you guys think that America broke away from England, then the psychological operation has worked on you. Because, look, these people who run our country, okay, Warren Buffett owns so much and controls so much of how our culture works, and he's directly related, okay, and these aren't the only kings and queens he's related to, okay. So then we have a bunch of Magna Carta people. I'm not even sure what that is, but there's a bunch of them. King Louis VI, the King of France. William the Conqueror, King of England. Look at all these kings that he's related to. King of France, King Robert I. Alfred the Great, King of the Anglo-Saxons. Charlemagne, King of the Franks. Okay, and Charlemagne, I can't remember. I had heard about that, so that has something to do with the, I think the Swiss? I can't remember. But see, it's just interesting how all these names just come up over and over and over again, and, blood relatives. So here we got a bunch more immigrants from the Great Migration, but they all happen to be related to one another. Very interesting. Then who do we have? Oh, we got the governor of Connecticut. Of course, painters, poets. Where we get all of our material that we revere in our country. We read these books. We make our kids read these books. Walt Whitman, founder of Aetna Insurance. Okay. 20th governor, more governor. Oh, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. And a signer, look, another one. Well, these guys were related, weren't they? Interesting. Oh, and then a signer of the Constitution. Okay, so you're going to tell me that all these royals, these were all the black sheep of the families? No. I don't think so, you guys. I don't think so. Published the first American dictionary. Okay, do you guys see? This is the foundation of all of our information and knowledge. Mr. Webster himself. Related. No wonder they're changing the dictionary because it's ran by Satanists. Another signer of the Constitution, William Johnson. The steamboat inventor, probably just credited to this guy. Loomis Gang, don't know who that is. Co-founder of Tiffany & Co. Oh, really? Harriet Beecher Stowe, another author. Another governor. Okay. Robert Townsend, a spy. Remington. So, the makers of guns, another governor, 9th president of Yale University. Of course, they're in charge of all of the education indoctrination camps. Okay, and so Abigail Smith, see, this is how they're related. Charlie Munger was also related to her. And there's a few more that both of them are related to. So they weren't just, it's not just his right-hand man. They're freaking related. Anne Boleyn? Jane Seymour? So, more royalty here. Catherine Howard. Oh, Harry Truman. Gotta have a president. Another, Amelia Earhart. See, now she was related via somebody else to Charlie Munger. So she's also related to Warren Buffett. Frank Woolworth. Okay, so founder of retail stores to push America into consumerism. Let's see. Abolitionist, John Brown. Another president, Benjamin Harrison. And then this lady who was married to another president. Let's see. Henry Wells. Oh, banking and credit card company. Big surprise, right? Mark Hopkins Jr. Okay, Central Pacific Railroad. So these guys just love the railroads, and they're just so good at building the most foundational infrastructure that still is running and in business to this day, right? These people are so good. No, I don't think they're that good, you guys. They're just taking credit and using a system that is planned to benefit them. That's why we have to step out of it. We have to get out of worshiping all of these actors. Okay, 6th president, John Quincy Adams. Another president. Oh, another poet. Another vice president, another college founder here. Oh, another poet, another Queen of England, the first. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is almost unbelievable. Okay, John Ball Stevens, Supreme Court Justice. We got Dick Cheney, another vice president here. Jesse James. Okay, right. Okay, so more actors on the world stage. Another poet, Alan Shepard, who was also related to Charlie Munger via somebody else. And he's not the only astronaut in this. So you can't really be an astronaut unless you are a Freemason. And in these bloodlines, you can't really be an astronaut unless you're a demon coming straight from outer space. Texaco, so the oil, big oil. And Mr. Loomis founded the Armored Car Service, of course, to protect this aristocracy that we're looking at here, right? Governor of Wyoming. Oh, first governor of Wyoming. Wow. So shocking, right? The very first governor was of royal lineage. Oh, another president? Wow, how many presidents does that make so far, you guys? Governor of Maine, Chief Justice on the Supreme Court, another governor of Connecticut, Rutherford B. Hayes, another president. Wow. Oh, and Grover Cleveland, another president. My goodness. My goodness. And then, of course, we got Post Cereal, CW Post, and Kellogg's. So both of these cereal companies, which Kellogg's, if you are familiar with why they created Kellogg's, I think it was to, like, make people stop wanting to masturbate or something crazy like that. But, yeah, the cereal is basically straight sugar and straight, bleached flours with added back in nutrients because it's literally garbage food. It's literally garbage food. And if they didn't add back in these nutrients, which, by the way, are extracted from corn in a lab. I know because I'm allergic to corn, and I discovered that I couldn't eat the cereals or I couldn't even eat the flour, the bleached flour that almost everything is made out of. All of our bread, all the noodles, cereals. This bleached flour has these added back in nutrients because it's literally trash and has no nutritional value whatsoever. So they have to add back in these nutrients, which are extracted from other foods in laboratories. Like, you guys are eating lab food made in a lab. Are you a lab rat? Because you're eating lab food. All right, back onto all of these people. Oh, Morgan, JP Morgan, of course. Oh, the inventor of the Colt. So more, firearms here. And we got another poet, a dwarf circus performer, Lewis Henry Morgan, anthropologist, Jane Austen, of course, another author, King Henry the Eighth, another king. Oh my goodness. Barbara Hutton, a socialite, aka poor little rich girl. Oh yeah, poor little rich girl. Robert Duvall. Oh, really? Walt Disney. Imagine Walt Disney being related to all these guys. Can you believe that? Wow. Stephen Crane, another author. We got Charles Dawes, a vice president. Oh, Margaret Hamilton. Oh, an actual witch. Interesting. Secretary of State, Elihu Root, Horace Austin, Governor of Minnesota. Oh, J.P. Morgan Jr. Susan B. Anthony. Okay, this whole women's rights was started by this lady and is ending in turning into men's rights. Have you seen the joke that has become women's rights? It's literally men being heralded as women of the year. And that was what this was all set up for. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to vote. I sure am happy about that. But it was all to bring about a destruction of women's rights. So, this woman is part of the aristocracy. Do not worship these people. Mayflower, Madame. They don't even have a photo. So a prostitute, basically. Emily Dickinson. Oh, okay. Frederick Upton. I bet if we looked this guy up, Whirlpool Corporation. See, these big corporations, this is how they keep their name out of it as much as possible. Is they open these big corporations, and then, you know, when you see that it's Whirlpool Corporation, you're like, oh, I don't know who that is. But if you look up who this guy is, well, I'm not going to go down another rabbit hole. We'll finish, because this is like the longest list. I can't even believe it. Like, I don't even think I saw this when I looked this up about a year ago. Another author, another vice president, another governor. Oh, Barnes & Noble co-founder. Isn't it interesting how all of these co-founders of all these businesses and stuff are just, these businesses do so well. Just so interesting how successful this family is. Ding Darling, cartoonist and founder of National Wildlife Federation. Cartoonist? Oh my gosh, I gotta look this guy up. I didn't know the National Wildlife Federation needed a cartoonist, but Richard Hatch, actor. Milton Bradley, we'll have to look him up, see who's... Oh, another president, Barack Obama. Interesting, folks. Interesting. Oh, and another president, William Howard Taft. Little Women, right? Another author of a famous book that everybody's heard about. George Eastman, Kodak Company. Founder of General Foods, Marjorie Post. Oops, I wonder if she was related. Come on, I'm not trying to go there. Oh my gosh. Great. Now I gotta go find where I was. We gotta count how many presidents are on this list, because, I mean, it's a little bit shocking. I didn't know there was this many presidents. Alright. I think we're right here. Whirlpool author, vice president, governor, Barnes & Noble, TV actor, Milton Bradley, Barack Obama, President Taft. Come on. Kodak, Marjorie Post, Oliver Wendell Holmes. So Supreme Court Justice, a graphic artist, T.S. Eliot, poet and playwright, John Dye, TV actor, astronomer, aviation pioneer. So he was probably friends with Disney, because the aviation pioneers, astronomer, you know, how closely related NASA and Disney are. Aaron Burr, Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor. Oh my gosh, they're even related to the Roman Empire? What in the world? Author of Tarzan, Hugh Hefner, of course. Christopher Lloyd. He's still doing stuff. Joanna Brewster. We got another governor. Willard Rockwell. Humphrey Bogart, movie actor. We got Henry Morgan, Sir Winston Churchill, Nancy Reagan, Juliet Gordon, Clint Eastwood, Robert Frost, John Updike. Oh, he wrote a book about the witches. Interesting. See, these guys, they are satanic. And witches, whether they know it or not, serve Lucifer. Another astronaut here, the first American to orbit Earth, was royalty and related to, all the kings and queens of England. Buckminster Fuller. Let's see, we got Oliver Platt. Henry Luce, co-founder of Time, Life, Fortune, Post Illustrated magazines. All right, so these are just influencer propaganda magazines. A bunch of people in Hollywood. Some murderer. Of course, you got to have a murderer in the family. Burt Reynolds, another governor. Calvin Coolidge, another president. Alan Dulles is director of the CIA. Secretary of State John Dulles. All right, well, there's Charlie Munger. Oh, see, he's on there. Via John Cass. Melvin Dewey, inventor of the Dewey Decimal System. Oh, John Kerry. Well, we knew he was a high-ranking Hollywood witch. Another poet. This guy, CEO of Athena Health. Interesting. Billy Bush, Cole Porter, Major General Leonard Wood. We got Sears, started Sears and Roebuck. More consumerism. Frank Doubleday. See, I know I've heard these names and stuff, but I don't know exactly who they are. Barnes & Noble founder. Oh, so there's multiple Barnes & Noble's founders related. So they're all just related. Did they tell you they were related? World's Columbian Exposition architect. Yeah, well, take a look at some of those World Expos and... yeah, you will see that they were setting the stage and giving us the information they wanted to give us. Let's see. We got Mary, Queen of Scots. So, yeah, another queen. Lucille Ball. Another president, Gerald Ford. First Lady, Marmee Eisenhower. Henry Fonda. Norman Rockwell, which is a sick... creepy dude. His art is creepy. Anthony Perkins, Jodie Foster, Alan Ladd, Christopher Rouse, a composer, John Adams Morgan. I believe that was the same one that was related to Mr. Munger. Another astronaut here, another vice president here, actress. David Crosby, another president, another actor, another governor, Mitt Romney, Raquel Welch, another actor, Glenn Close, who I think is a dude, but Marilyn Monroe, David, whatever his name is, TV actor, Jane Fonda, more actors, Shirley Temple, Kate Upton, Lillian Gish, author, Julia Childs, Nobel Prize winner in physiology or medicine, Thomas Hunt Morgan, Ed Helms, Amy Grant. Oh, of course, they've infiltrated the Christian music scene. This wasn't an accident. George Hamilton, Elizabeth Shue, Andrew Shue, David Hyde Pierce. Oh my gosh, look at all these actors. Gross. I can't believe that nobody even knew that these people were literally the idols of our country. People idolize these people. Harry Chapin, singer, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Edward Norton, Boris Johnson, wow, James Taylor, Spencer Tracy, Viggo Mortensen, Tuesday Weld. Look at all these actors. I don't even care about any of them other than to know who they are. Dr. Jill Biden? President. Oh, because she was married, I think. Janis Joplin, Ellen DeGeneres, Hillary Swank, Kelsey Grammer, Sarah Palin, and again, Scott Foley, another astronaut, Brewster Shaw, Archibald McLeish, American Poet Part, Treat Williams, Bridget Fonda, founder of the Atlantic Monthly. I don't know who that is. Another senator. Lucia Chase, who was also related to Charlie Munger. Franklin Roosevelt. Oh, another president. Seriously, guys, there's so many presidents on this list. Another governor. Sarah Jessica Parker. Pushing Sex in the City. Secretary of State, Post Malone, Billie Eilish. Okay, this is not a coincidence. These people were promoted to the positions by their family line. Prolific Mayflower descendant. Signer of the Declaration of Independence. This is the governor. More immigrants. Lots of immigrants. Barbara, of course, because she was married to George. Another president. Richard Gere. Tennessee Williams. NFL head coach Bill Belichick. Dick Van Dyke. Vincent Price. Matt Damon. President Harry Truman's wife Bess, Jeb Bush, Senator, this guy who supposedly assassinated John Lennon, another governor, Marlon Brando, Orson Bean, Phil Knight, Nike, OMG. And he uses, of course, slave practices to build his business just the way that his satanic bloodline taught him to do. And, oh, John Hinckley. See, these people, they're sure in all these big stories of our country, aren't they? Ernest Hemingway, Christopher Reeves, Howard Dean, Muzio Peck, Endicott Peabody, David Cohens, Felicity Huffman, Tommy Lee, Cash Warren, Louis Anderson, who did a disgusting sitcom where he dressed up as a woman. Kara Sedgwick, Aaron Rodgers, Thomas somebody, American novelist. See, look at all these actors. Zac Efron, Amy Adams, Julie Bowen, Caesar Rodney, John Durden, another president. Oh my gosh. Oh, Paget Brewster, Gretchen Mol, Bing Crosby, Alec Baldwin, Ben Affleck, John Lithgow, Mickey Rourke. Wow, Cindy Crawford. Authors, co-founders of colleges, governors, signer of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Oh, founder of another college. Another governor. Another author. Another actress. Sally Field. James Brolin. Gina Davis. Josh Brolin. Paul Giamatti. John Kerry. Meriwether Lewis. Of course! Of course! I knew that the Lewis and Clark expedition had to be led. You know, they tried to put these people forth as like, these were the most rugged explorers of our time. Well, you have to be backed by tons of money and support to have done anything that was done in this country. Meriwether Lewis is related to the royals? Go figure. Go friggin' figure. Zachary Taylor, 12th U.S. Another president. James. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. More writers. See, this is... Oh! Charles Darwin! Which we know he was a Freemason, which goes against the fact that he even believed in evolution, because you cannot even be a Freemason if you do not believe in God. They will take any God that you believe in. Any God that you want to believe in is just fine with them. If you are an evolutionist atheist, you are not accepted into their little club, because once you go through all the levels and prove yourself worthy, then you may be invited to worship their King of Kings, which is Lucifer. So if you don't believe in God, they don't want you, because they want you to worship their God. So this guy proposed a theory that completely went against his own personal foundational beliefs. And y'all are believing it. Thomas Jefferson, the third, another president and signer of the Declaration of Independence, another signer of the Declaration of Independence. Oh, and he was related to George Washington, the very first president, who we also know was a Freemason. He is immortalized, I believe it is Congress or the Capitol in Washington. He is literally painted in heaven with all these gods. And then his statue looks like the Baphomet statue. So, yeah, and he's basically naked. This... Thomas Nelson, signer of independence. Patrick Henry, governor of Virginia. George Clinton, vice president. Henry Lee, 9th governor of Virginia. William Claiborne. I mean, honestly, if we would want to do a history lessons on the U.S. are pretty much family history of English royalty. I'm not teaching. The only reason I'm teaching my kids these names is to show them that they're all part of English royalty, which is who we've been trying to come out of, or we supposedly broke free from. Yeah, we didn't break free from anything. The only way that you can break free is to reject this whole system that these sick people have set up, and choose instead to let God provide for us. Choose instead to let everything that God made on this earth provide what we need. To step away from their Post and Kellogg's factory food lines and start making some granola yourself for your family. U.S. Supreme Court, signed a Declaration of Independence, followed of the U.S. Bill of Rights. First woman executed for murder by non-British government. So they just took it over. And signer of the U.S. Constitution, governor of New York, DeWitt Clinton, another Henry Lee, signer of Declaration of Independence, Francis Lightfoot. Oh my gosh, Princess Diana, the Duchess of York, President Roosevelt's wife, General Robert E. Lee. Oh, wow. Author of the Star-Spangled Banner, Francis Scott Key. Oh my gosh. This makes me want to reject all of this stuff. Supreme Court Justice, 9th U.S. President. Oh my gosh. Another freaking president. Author of Our and Men, First Lady President Franklin Pierce, Nicholas Gilman, another U.S. Constitution signer, Governor, Prince William, Prince Henry, Agatha Christie, Jimmy Carter, another president. Governor of Michigan. Oh, another U.S. president. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Movie actor Randolph Scott Fitzlee. Another governor. We got a Titanic victim here, guys. Inventor of the cotton gin, Eli Whitney. Leader of the mutiny on the bound. Governor. Signer of the U.S. Constitution. Governor. Oh my gosh. Lord Cornwallis. British commander. Governor Linda Hunt. Hal Holbrook. Queen Elizabeth II. George Patton. Camilla Bowles. Queen Consort of the United Kingdom. Governor of Illinois. Arkansas. Mike Huckabee. William Macy. English polar explorer. Of course. Ranulph Fiennes reminds me of Ray Fiennes. John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil. My goodness. Poet. First Lady. S.D. Childs Company. Not sure what that is. Secretary of Treasury. Alexander Hamilton. Oh, Folgers Coffee Company. Helen Keller. Oh my gosh. Noel Coward. Robert Gould Shaw. Oh my gosh. It's just crazy because, I mean, I learned about all these names growing up in school, but they were literally like, these are our founding fathers. And it's like, why do you even say that? They're not my father. They say that to these kids to give these kids some sort of like warm, fuzzy feeling towards these royals. When, I'm sorry, but the very fact that you've hidden the fact that you're related to each other, all of you, is exactly shows why. Because you hid it. Because it's all planned. Another president of a college. King Charles III. Interesting. Total pedophile sicko. Kit Harington. Frank Lloyd Wright. Liz Claiborne. Pulitzer Prize winning novelist Upton Sinclair. Oh, okay. Oh, Brave New World. Oh, related to Warren Buffett, you guys. Tilda Swinton. Another movie actress. Look at all these actresses. Governor, founder of Folger Shakespeare Library, and chairman of Standard Oil, Folger Shakespeare Library. Wow. Serial killer, Theodore Roosevelt. It's like, I wonder if the people who ended up getting killed for murder, I wonder if they like were ones that tried to like leave the family or something, because this is what they do. They are in charge of all the media, everything that's put out, all the information, everything in the education. And if you don't toe the line or you start sharing secrets that they don't want you sharing, they will completely defame you and kill you. And then you have no reputation. And then everything you said, they're like, well, he was actually a serial killer. So anyways, I may look into a few of these people like these to see, you know, just if it's a suspect type of, but I mean, Lizzie Borden, another one. Lizzie Borden, another U.S. president. Theodore Roosevelt. Oh, Admiral Byrd, who was also a Freemason. Oh my gosh. Gloria Vanderbilt. Hetty Green, dubbed the Witch of Wall Street. Wow. I mean, you know, they give you little pieces. They are witches. They give you little pieces of truth here. Shanghai Pierce, Texas Cattleman. Jay Gould, Robber Baron. Harry Bird, Governor of Virginia, co-founder of Bloomsbury Group. See, these groups, this is what owns our country, are these groups of rich royalty. Henry Lloyd, Governor of Maryland. Lewis Carroll. Oh, Alice in Wonderland. Lucifer in Wonderland, you mean. Supreme Court Justice, Governor Nelson Rockefeller, Vice President Winthrop Rockefeller, Ted Danson, Cookie Roberts, Story Musgrave, ooh, a NASA astronaut, wow. We got this guy, Lee Marvin, Douglas Trumbull, Ray Bradbury. Oh, the Martian Chronicles. Interesting how they're all obsessed with space, huh? E.C. Seeger, cartoonist. Katharine Hepburn. Wow. And Baxter, Orson Welles. Carly Fiorina, CEO of Hewlett Packard, Governor of Massachusetts. John Cena. Charles Pillsbury. Oh, more garbage bleached flour food made in laboratories. First Lady, Johnny Mercer. Tupper. Oh, Prime Minister of Canada. See, nobody's exempt. No country is exempt from having their country ran by English royalty relatives. Anderson Cooper. James Sherman, Vice President. Dick Clark. E.M. Forrester. Guillermo Billinghurst. Oh, President of Peru. John Dos Passos. Peter Forrester. Elizabeth Montgomery. Oh, Bewitched. Interesting. Another witch. Another witch normalizing witches. Supreme Court Justice. The first one. Wow. The first one. And of course, she's related to the kings and queens of England. Sam Waterston. Truman Capote, author of In Cold Blood. Linda Hamilton. Benedict Cumberbatch. Brewster Colley, founder of Internet Archive. Princess of Wales. Catherine Middleton. Harper Lee, author To Kill a Mockingbird, which they made us read in school. See, this is what they've educated us with, their information, their stupid stories. Which, if I went back now, I would probably see tons of occult symbolism in all of them. Herbert Hoover, another president. Steve McQueen, Roy Rogers, Valerie Bardinelli, Pete Seeger, Williams Carrier, inventor of air conditioning. Alan Turing. Oh, of course he wrote about the Nazis, because they are all Nazis. TV movie actor J.K. Simmons, Alan Napier, Brian Forrester, Charlie Day. Okay, Chevy Chase, Carrie Russell. I don't know who all these people are. Anna Faris. I know her. Jane Wyatt, DeBose Hayward, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Anne Heche, Paris Hilton, Robert Goddard, the first liquid-propelled rocket. First woman in space. Wow, isn't it amazing how all the first women who are able to do everything happen to be related to the royals? The royals. Isn't that interesting? Hugh Grant. Werner von Braun is related to frickin' Disney. They are related. Werner von Braun. He is literally a Nazi. He literally, you can look it up, came to the U.S. via Operation Paperclip. He was the father of rocket science. Rocket science was, he is a Nazi. Oh my gosh. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, Michael Stern, and Ray Fiennes. Wow. I mean, this is insane. I gotta go back and look at how many presidents, because I just have to know. I just have to know. This was like the longest list ever. Okay. So we're just going to do U.S. presidents here. We got... I hope I haven't missed any. Okay, so Harry Truman, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's the vice president. 4, 5, 6, even though he was president twice, but 6. 'Vice presidents too. 7, 8. Got 8 presidents so far. Founder of Girl Scouts. I didn't even see that the first time. 9. 10. 'Vice president. 11. 'I'll be out in a minute. Oh, man. I have 11 so far. 12. 'Okay, this guy shot president Ronald Reagan. Thirteen. 14. 15. 16. 17. 17. 18. 19. 19 so far. Let's see. 19, 20. So, oh, and another one. 21, or 20. I think we're at 20. Fourth President of Ireland. Okay. So we had like 20. So we're at what? 46th? We're the 46th president. Almost half of the presidents that we've had in the history of our country are all related to this guy. All of them. I mean, can you imagine having 20 presidents? I mean, you think this is just another coincidence? This must be just another coincidence. This is just another coincidence.